Hello, everyone. This is Tigri Lagadenia, your nature inspired leadership mentor. I want to welcome you to the first of my three-part series, Firmly Planted Lessons from the Plant Kingdom and How to Evolve in Harmony with Nature. And I'm coming to you from a beautiful location in the territory. The tree behind me, which you can't see, but it's very tall, it's actually the oldest tree in all of Damanhur. And this is one of my favorite places to come. Amok has taught me so much over the years. And so in this moment of kind of global unrest and uncertainty, I came here to try to better understand what it is that the plant world wants us to know. So in this series, I have three parts that I really want to talk about. Today, it's all about plant speak. So this is about what plants are communicating about the current state of the world. Now, I am very active on social media, and I've been reading a lot of different reports from people and tree communicators around the world, and it's extremely comforting in some ways to see that the message is so clear. We're all receiving something very similar, and this means that we're uniting, right? The world, the plant world, and the human world are coming back together. And so this is a great and an important time for all of us to really slow down. That's the number one message that's coming. The number one message is about slowing down, about reconnecting, and that really means starting by taking time away from the noise to really get back in touch with yourself. So before you can reconnect with others, you need to first reconnect to yourself. And this moment of what is kind of being talked about as isolation, self-isolating, doesn't have to be isolation in the sense of really being alone. On the contrary, this is a part about isolating yourself first in order to kind of rid yourself from the hustle and bustle, to rid yourself from the external noises that are coming to you and bombarding you, and to really step into what's important. The plants are really giving us an opportunity right now to separate out the things that are important from the things that are not important, to give yourself ample space from what's happening kind of to you in order to really hear yourself in this part. And so this is a really important time for you to slow down and take a little extra space for yourself to reconnect with your internal self, your true nature, through a reconnection to the plant world, a reconnection with others in a new way. So let me see if I can try to break this down. Sometimes when we're in the middle of the hustle and bustle, where we're in the middle of all of these difficulties, it's hard to understand what is the true ecosystem that I need to work within. What are the parts that are helping me, that are nourishing me, versus what are the parts that are instead something that's draining energy? And plants are they're very good about managing their energy. This is an extremely important aspect of the plant world. The plant world takes a lot of thought process in order to understand where to expend energy and when to not. And even if they know that they're doing something that maybe doesn't have a return, it usually is a conscious choice in making it. And so over the years, one of the things that plants have been able to perfect is really this understanding of how much energy do I have? How much energy do I need? How much energy can I predict is actually going to come back to me? And how much energy from that prediction can I safely use? And you see this over and over again in the cycles of nature, right? You see it in wintertime when deciduous trees, kind of like the ones that are around me, drop their leaves. What they do first is they bring back in all the nourishment that they can from the leaves. So everything they've photosynthesized, all the different chemicals that they've put into those leaves, they pull them back. So when you actually see a leaf starting to change color, right? This is obviously a dried leaf, but once the leaf starts to change color, what's happening is that it's not that the leaf is quote unquote dying. It's that the plant itself, like themselves, they're pulling back all of the nutrients, and that's taking away all the color, right? First is coming back the chloroplast, coming back the nitrogen, all these different aspects. And each one of those has different colors. And that's the reason why you start to resolve and you start to see these beautiful reds and these beautiful golden tones because it's removed everything else. And then it drops the leaf because it says, one, this is extra energy. To hold on to this is completely unnecessary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it. I've pulled in all the different nourishment and nutrients I need. I drop this, and this has been made so that as it decomposes, as it turns into dust, and as it goes back into the dirt, it mixes with the microbes and with all of the decomposers in there to create a new level of soil. And that new level of nourishing soil is going to come back to the plant in different ways. It's going to help with the way that the water moves. It's going to make sure that the plant has extra nourishment. So any extra nourishment that was even left in here comes back into the soil, which goes to all the organisms that are inside of the soil. And that is going to eventually come back to the plant through the root system. Okay. So in something that looks like winter, that looks like shutting down and isolation, instead, what is happening is a process for the plant to take in everything it needs, and what is left over for it to give it back to the earth to be recycled and renourished. And this is the way, and this is the message that they want us to have about what's happening right now. They want us to start to use this same type of process. Right now, all the extra unnecessary stuff is the stuff you want to leave behind. So right now, whether you're going into any kind of lockdown area like I am in here in Italy, or whether you're going into some other type of process, they want you to pull back the important aspects. And in many cases, to be honest, as humans, we don't even know what those are anymore. We've lost so much touch, like we've lost that connection to ourselves sometimes, and we don't actually even know what's important to us. So the first thing to do is really reflect. Once you have yourself safe, once you have all the supplies you need in general for your physical safety, now is the time for you to go in and reflect. Reflect on what you need, reflect on who you are, reflect on what are the important things that at the other side of this global situation you want to be left with. What are the things you really want to work with? And you want to reflect on those in order for you to reconnect with those. Who are the people that actually nourish you and that their company and their experiences actually enhances your life? What are the activities? What is the type of work? What is it around me in my life that actually nourishes me? And therefore you want to pull those closer. And the other piece is you want to slowly start letting those go in a way for them to be able to be recycled. So nothing here has to be drastic. Nothing has to be about cutting. This is a process, right? So first you want to take the time to reflect and recall all those super important things that you're connected to. People you love, the type of work you love, your passions, things that make you feel like you are on the path of your life mission. All of these you want to recall them in. But if you've lost sight of certain parts, the plant world wants you to know that they're sending you this extra space and time for you to take to reflect. This extra space and time for you to really understand what is most important for you in life, and for you to then be able to reconnect to that in the following stages. So don't worry about the time right now. Take it. I understand that it's difficult for many people. I understand that there's a lot of fear in this. And I urge you to always take care of your most basic needs first. That's the most important thing. You want to do this from a place of safety. And that's the other aspect that they want you to know. They want you to know that you're not as alone as you feel. You need to learn how to reach out. Humanity has thought that we can solve all of our problems in isolation by ourselves. But we're social beings and we need social connections. And to now is a great opportunity for you to take inventory of where you are and what you can do in order to build the social connections and the social experiences that are going to help you. And that means making sure that your ecosystem is robust. What are you putting into the ecosystem? What are you giving of yourself? What are you taking from that ecosystem? Are you asking? Do you feel like you're in a safe enough space that you can actually ask for help? Can you be vulnerable? Can you open yourself up? And more importantly, can you help others? And can you let others help you? These are all parts of that reflection to be done, because this is not about you or me or them or any one individual. This is about global reconnection. And in order to reconnect, you need to understand the ecosystem that you've been building and how and what role you play within that ecosystem. And make sure that that ecosystem is equal parts you giving and equal parts you taking. You have every right to take from the ecosystem. It's about balance. It's about being able to listen to yourself and knowing that you're taking from a place of need and of desire, and that it's not coming from a place of fear. Because when we fear, we hoard. When we fear, we become greedy. Greed is not something that is negative. It's not a character trait. It is a symptom of a greater fear. And right now, the plants are saying, hey, we're putting in a system in place right now that a little bit is going to trigger your fears without a doubt, so that you can look at them, so that you can reflect from them, so that you can move from them. So the plants are literally speaking to us, telling us, hey, we're here. We want you to look at those fears, and we want you to then ask for help so that you don't act from those fears, but instead you start to change. And so really right now is a great time to take that inventory, to take that time to really understand where it is that you're coming from, to understand deep down and reconnect back to yourself, so that you can then reconnect to a greater ecosystem going forward. Hopefully this is making sense. You know, I have an example of this can be like if you're building a little bit of a fence, right? So if you think about these moments, right, we're kind of creating a little bit of a fence. Now it looks like when you create a fence that you're dividing yourself from the outside, but from the inside. And to a certain extent, that's true. But this fencing sometimes allows you to better understand what's on the inside. So first you want to create a little bit of a barrier around yourself, but making sure that you have a door, that in that door you're able to open it and ask for the things that you need in order for you to be able to listen to yourself. And the plants want to be there. They want to be there to support you. They're really in this with us. They are in this global situation that's happening right now. They are part of this world and part of its creation, because they want to be able to give you that time to slow down and really hear what's inside of this fence, because they know that once you truly understand what's happening inside of this fence, then you can take the fence down, because the fence is only there as an artificial barrier to help you reach a point that you right now can't reach. It's like creating an ecosystem inside of this fencing so that later you can take the fencing down and open up to a greater ecosystem, but from a place of strength, from a place of openness, from a place of having your needs met and knowing how to meet the needs of others. So it's okay for you to sort of go inside of yourself right now. It's actually a good time for you to continue to do this. This is, a great period of reflection, because it's going to lead you to a place of reconnection. Hopefully that's kind of clear. So I really want you to use this time wisely. I really would love for you to tell me about the things that you're doing to help you reconnect to yourself, to reconnect with the plant world, to really hear them that are speaking. And over the next few days, we're going to keep talking about these subjects. We're going to keep bringing this out into the open. The next step that we're going to talk about is, how do we sow these seeds, right? Why are the things that we've been doing up until now no longer working? And what is it that the plant world wants us to know about what happens next? Because that's the important part, right? Right now we're in this state of reflection. So we're kind of looking in and we're connecting to what's around us in our vicinity, but we can't stay there. So it's important to know that this is a process that we're going to be in. So we're going to start first in this process. And I really want you to embrace this completely. If you have any needs, if you have any questions, send me an email, write in my Facebook page, contact me, because I want you to have everything that you need. I want you to be fully empowered to feel like you can really work through this. And then we're going to take you through the next step because the plants have a lot more to say on this. And the next step is what happens next? What do the plants want us to know about the fact that once we've spoken, once we've reflected, now we want to sow new seeds for a new tomorrow, a new united tomorrow. All right? So this is me, Tigrila Gardenia. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. And I look forward to meeting up with you and discussing the next steps of what's going to happen when we sow the seeds of this firmly planted new reality. Bye.